Hello, I just want to spend a couple of minutes today talking about a news article which I saw this morning, which related to the unfortunate and tragic death of a 47-year-old man in Singapore as he was riding his motorcycle on the BKE. I'll share the link to this article in the information below. Now, I think the reason it resonated with me is it was another example of a motorcyclist who's lost their life on the highways of Singapore. The BKE is one of our highways that cuts across Singapore, three lanes usually, and traffic, whilst restricted in speed, obviously, they're not the safest places to ride for motorcyclists. And I think this is the point here that I'd like to make is that um, one of the main issues I see with the way that people ride motorcycles in Singapore is there is an enormous amount of lane splitting going on. And lane splitting is when a motorcyclist decides to ride on the white line that divides two lanes and move between the rows of traffic. Usually, of course, moving quicker than the rows of traffic, because that would be the point of the motorcyclist trying to weave in and out of the cars. And I use the term weave in and out. They usually are sort of maintaining a trajectory on one of those white lines, but it, in my opinion, is dangerous. Now, there's not a law against that in Singapore, and the government have said that it's very hard if they tried to enforce a law, it would be very hard to actually enact it and stop motorcyclists doing this. I'll post a link to an article that the government produced on that again in the information below. And I think here it's time to do something, because if you look at the statistics within this article, you'll see that just over half of all accidents involve motorcyclists or pillion riders, and tragically 61% of traffic fatalities involve motorcyclists, which is just really too high. And I know that motorcyclists are less protected, so there is possibly a greater occurrence of accidents or fatalities, at least, because of those lack of protection, or because of that lack of protection. But I still think that something needs to be done, and I will probably do another video later which talks a bit more in detail about this. But for the moment, I think it's food for thought.